Do you think Biden will stay in the race?
Look, I watch him just like you do.
Do you?
And I think it's almost inappropriate for me to say it, but I deal with other people. I don't see how it's possible. And it's not an age thing. You know, like I say, I have friends that are 88, 89, 92. Bernie Marcus, Home Depot, is 95. Smart as hell. He's sharp as he was. I mean, he's
a little racist. He's bigoted. He hates his workers. He's getting a little short-tempered. He doesn't drive. But, I mean, other than that,
no.
He could be the president of all Americans, especially the ones he hates.
Mentally, Bernie Marcus, Home Depot, founder of Home Depot, one of the founders. I mean, I had a meeting with him a few months ago. He was 100%. I know people that built their fortunes from 80 to 90. They were always struggling, and they made a fortune from 80 to 90. A couple of people in particular. It's amazing. He's not too old. You know, his age. I think they do the age thing because I'm 4 or 5 years behind. They say this is a way of getting Trump. Let's go him. But there's something wrong. I saw his answer today on television about whether or not he was going to run to a very nice guy named Al Roker. I mean, you can't get a softer question than that. That was a long answer, talking about the eggs and the this and that. Look.
Jesus Christ. You answered. The question was, do you think Biden's going to run? Does he stay in the race? That was, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's talking to Al Roker, and you get a soft thing, and he's talking about eggs, and I didn't even know, and people are sharp, and the guy from Home Depot, and...
I don't think he can. But say what you want. They didn't expect him to get it. Yeah. You know, people could say...
Yeah. They didn't expect it. I thought they cheated, and they guaranteed they were going to get it.
He won an election. You know, it always goes, I got the most votes of any person, any sitting president in history. I was told if I got 15 million less, I couldn't lose.
Yeah, that's what you're told.
They're surrounded by vicious, smart people.
Okay, as opposed to vicious, stupid people like Stephen Miller, like people who you had on?
Radical left people. But they're very smart and they're very vicious. It's not him. It's not him.
He's a good guy. Fuck. I ruined my... God damn it. No, he's an animal. He's a monster. He's trying to... I hate him.
He's now in Ireland. He's not going to have a news conference. When the world is exploding, I own property in Ireland. I'm not going to Ireland. The world is exploding around us. You could end up in a third world war, and this guy's going to be in Ireland and not having a news conference. He hasn't had a news conference, I guess, in months. I saw today where he hasn't. It's been.
Well, he can't. So if he doesn't run, if he's taken out by his own party, or who knows what happens, but it doesn't seem like he's capable of running again.
Yeah, but what if he's just sitting in a room with another man and a little table and a couple of flowers, and nobody else is there, and they just feel like dancing?
Who does run?
Well, obviously, the one that they would talk about would be the vice president, Kamala. That would be the one that they talk about. But I don't think she's performed well on the big stage. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, she didn't bring anybody on like Pence, you know. Like, she can't pick them like you can, I guess.
But there are a certain group of people that will go crazy if it's not her. They're going to go very...
Brown people.
Yeah, they're going to be very angry if it's not her. That's a problem.
Who?
You have a very ambitious guy in California, but he's done a terrible job with the state. I used to get along great with him, you know, when I was president. I got along really good, Gavin.
Well, you got along with Gavin Newsom?
I did. I really did. He was always very nice to me. He said the greatest things.
Yeah, because he had to, or we wouldn't get PPE.
He would say things like, he's doing a great job. Oh, he was very nice.
About you?
About me. That's why I could never hit him, because he was so nice to me. It's just...
Hey, look at this. Look at this asshole finally recognizing that he can be played just with his shitty ego. By the way, Gavin Newsom, I already like him. He'll make a great president one day, and he's already gone up 10 points in my book right now, just because this asshole just realized how easy it is to drag him around by his ever-sniffing fucking nose.
Laying in wait, right? But You know, he was very nice to me, and relatively speaking.
Yeah, again, because if you weren't nice to Trump, he wouldn't send you PPE and your people would die.
Some of them weren't. We did a good job for the governors. But
yeah, the question was, do you think Biden... All right.
They talk about him. They talk about some others. I just don't see Biden doing it from a physical or a mental standpoint.
Yes.
I don't see it. But it's been
But you said that before, and he kicked your ass.
a crazy period of time in the world of politics. But he's surrounded by people. You know, they expected Bernie to win. Now,
No, they didn't.
Bernie's older than Biden. You know, whether you like him or not, he's sharp. I watched him being interviewed the other day. He's 100% sharp. He hasn't lost much, if anything. Bernie Sanders. But
Oh, that guy. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Bernie Taupin. I figured, I was like, I don't know if, because he's British, he couldn't even run.
you know, he's older. So it's not an age thing. I just don't see him.
So they're trying to prevent you from making it to the general election by tying you up in lawsuits, charging you with crimes. You've just
Or you committed some crimes and you have some civil liabilities and you fucked around and you're starting to find out, and that may impact your ability to run. It's not because anybody is doing this for that reason. It's that this shit is interfering with the goal you set for yourself because you're an asshole.
described the process.
It's the old Soviet process.
It's the old Soviet process. No, they just spray something in your face and push you out a window.
Soviet process. And you've described it as...
No, he didn't mean that as a joke, stupid. Tucker just laughed in Trump's face, and Trump doesn't know why he laughed at that. I'm not kidding.
legitimate. If this goes to trial and you get convicted, like how would you respond in the middle of a presidential campaign? How
Well,
would you
it's
respond?
so off. Statute of limitations are years off. It's hard to believe. You know, usually when you have something like this, the Democrats say, oh, he's terrible, guilty. The Democrats have even said, I'm innocent.
No.
I watched some of these, I think it was
Like Van Jones.
Andrew McCabe, the FBI guy who I fired. He came out, he said, they've got no case. They've all come out and said it. And then you've had...
And yet, that has no impact on a court of law. And the grand jury obviously disagrees with them because they've seen the evidence up close.
Andrew McCarthy, you've had
Andrew McCarthy? How did Ali Sheedy vote?
Jonathan Turley, Greg Jarrett, Dershowitz, all of them. Everybody,
Anybody who's ever gotten a hand job at Epstein's house, all of them think he's innocent.
and they're, down the middle people. They see it. They say there's no crime.
By the way, Andrew McCarthy directed a few episodes of Blacklist, I think. I thought it was nice of James Spader to bring him on.
There's no anything. Think of it, Tucker. I've been through 7 years of bull investigations. 7 years. They've looked at, I have a very big company, much bigger than they understand. In fact, when they finally got my taxes, they said, whoa. They took them years to get the taxes. They got them. That was the last you ever heard. You never heard one thing about them.
No, they used them partly as evidence to put Alan Weisselberg in jail and to fine your company. And they're still going through them.
But it took them years to get them because they shouldn't be looking at my taxes. I was surprised the Supreme Court gave them the right. They shouldn't be looking at people. That's sort of another one of the tenets. You don't do that.
The tenants? You don't do that? Motherfucker, you promised to show them.
But I didn't care that much. I just...
You fought for years.
On principle, I fought them.
On principle. Yeah, that's what it was. On principle, I don't want to do what all other presidents have done because you'll find out where my money comes from.
And they looked, I built a great company when...
Yes, and it tenants, exactly, not tenants.
You do the things that I do, and you employ thousands and thousands of people over the years.
Over the years. The same people.
It's just thousands. We've done a great job.
Yeah, a lot of them foreign nationals with no papers.
And then I ran for president. People were surprised that I won, but I used to see these rallies, and I'll tell you, the rallies are bigger now. The enthusiasm.
Nope.
Enthusiasm is more now than I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's there's more enthusiasm. It's just fewer people. It's all packed into, instead of like 10,000 dumbasses, I have 800 fucking lunatics. And Jim Jones will tell you that's way better
Than I've ever seen.
So what do you think, since your poll numbers have risen consistently since they raided this place, Mar-a-Lago?
Well, before they raided
In August.
they were going up substantially before.
Well, they
but
definitely moved after
Since
that.
then, they've really been going up.
So
have you thought about maybe getting raided again?
how do you think?
Can you plan? Have you thought about maybe getting someone to sneak you some classified documents so you can have them raid Bedminster?
That your opponents will respond.
I don't know how well. We have two opponents. We have a primary opponent. We have a general election opponent.
I mean,
I don't know what you mean by everyone hates me. That's a big
the
question.
Democratic Party using the legal system.
Well, what they're doing is they're finding, and think of this, they say 11 million pages, but whatever it is, through all of these Democrats' investigations. I had the Mueller hoax. I had...
Oh, for fuck's sake, get on with it. The question was, how do we spur nuclear deproliferation?
impeachment hoax number one, impeachment hoax number two, Ukraine, 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 Russia, Russia, Russia. You knew the Russia, Russia, Russia. I got that whole term from you, Russia, Russia, Russia. You'd be screaming it and say, this guy's a comedian. But you remember that whole period of time.
Quite
Russia.
well.
It turned out to be a total fake. But think of this, I tell this story very seldom.
You tell what?
Because it's a sad story.
Well, okay, we're about to hear a story we've all heard a bunch of times. I tell it seldomly, and by seldom I mean all rallies and interviews.
So the Russia, Russia, Russia hoax was made up by crooked Hillary Clinton, Adam Schiff, the DNC, the Democrat Party. The dossier is a total fake thing. We're suing them now, as you know, on that. We're suing
That'll work out great.
them a lot because, unfortunately, Bill Barr didn't have the courage to do what he should have done. He was so afraid of being impeached. So I have to do it civilly. I have to sue people. The Justice Department should have done, because these are criminals. But think of this. So you have all of these millions and millions of pages, and they get you on a non-disclosure agreement? I mean, big numbers, billions and billions of dollars, right? And they get...
Yeah, that's not the only thing they, quote-unquote, got you on. Those have been sitting there for a while. Also, your company was found guilty on all charges, and your CFO went to jail. And some of those 11 million documents were the reason why that old man went to fucking jail.
You on a perfect non-disclosure agreement where they get...
A perfect non-disclosure agreement. This is great. I very seldom tell this story, but I had her sign it, and I was like, she didn't have a pen, and we were looking for one, and I was starting to lose whatever erection I had.
Nothing. A friend of mine who's a big business guy said,
Oh, fuck. This is going to be you must be the most innocent person. Yes, I seldomly tell the story about this guy who, sir, you must be the most innocent, sweet person.
You have to be the most honest guy in the
this bullshit.
world. Because with all of those numbers that you have and those big numbers, they don't have anything.
And they're still looking, by the way. And they got your CFO, and they find your company, and they got you on this. 34 charges, felonies.
And you have to see, take a look at the people I just mentioned. Read what they said. There was no crime. In fact, a lot of people saying he indicted somebody. There's no crime. That's illegal to do.
No, it isn't.
You know what he did. So I don't see it going. I mean, we'll have to see.
So, but just to bottom line it, I mean, the purpose of this is to keep you out of the presidential race.
If I weren't running, or if I had bad poll numbers, let's say.
Right.
You do.
And again, remember, the Democrats are the party of disinformation.
By the way, if I wasn't running, they would stop going after me, which is the exact opposite of the reason why he announced, because he thinks this is the only thing that will protect him. They were already moving in this direction, and he'd already been subpoenaed, and they had already done the search warrant on Mar-a-Lago. He thought running for president as soon as possible would put up a political barrier that would stop the Justice Department from going after him, because now he's a candidate for president.
If they want you to run, if they want to run against somebody, they're going to go the opposite. For instance, they don't want to run against me. And now, I just gave you a poll. I'm 9 points up on Biden. But they're the party of disinformation. So what they say is, oh, we want to run against Trump. Now, they always do that. You know, they do that. And other people would do it, but they do it pretty much better than others.
Is there anything they could throw at
Gibberish. I don't know what the fuck.
you legally that would convince you to drop out of the race? If you get convicted in this case in New York,
No,
would
I'd
you
never
drop out?
drop out. No, I'd never drop. It's not my thing. I wouldn't do it.
They cut out whatever the fuck he was saying there. That's the last one of these? Yeah. There might be more to this later. I don't know, maybe.
Subscribe to the.
Nope, that's it. Yeah. Phew. And by the way, hold on one second. Let me pop this over here. Don't. Well, we got through it, chat room. Boring, same shit. Not surprising. Dull. Will not move his poll numbers in any positive direction. Same old. Yeah, Gish Gallop bullshit. And, you know, and you've got Tucker Carlson just kind of ball cradling for him. And, of course, not interrupting any of the bullshit, except to wants to laugh in his fucking face about the Soviet Union quip, which you could tell Trump meant seriously. He did have tears in his eyes. The most honest guy, yeah. Don't make a drinking game out of any of Trump's recurring bullshit because you'll end up with cirrhosis of the liver.